Rio TPing to the offlane on Slada. Will he get scouted out? Gyro aggressive, TP'd up here as well. Drops a lane ward. I don't think he's going to see this one, and it doesn't look like he'll catch the ward planet early by Rio. So that's a nice little early observer ward by Rio. And Gyrocopter not going to scout that one out.
Sometimes you see when the Slada players getting sprint at level 1 just to make sure that they go unscouted with this ward placement.
Okay, it will be both teams, it looks like, gunning for their, well, at least Mineski gunning for their safe lane rune. CDEC, no Gyrocopter down here. Are they going to look to contest this? Seems like a very
they are
risky
really strong
proposition.
at level 1. They are very strong at level 1 with the SB and the Visage. If they want to get the Gyro down here, they are most certainly going to secure any side of the rune.
30 seconds to battle.
Alright,
So it looks like they're just going to go for the safe bet, like 1 rune a piece most likely.
Yep. And Slada's
top
seen the
lane.
Gyrocopter, so Mineski know what CDC are up to. Very interesting first web as well, over the Roche pit. That...
Huh, did he use it to just run down? Wow, okay, this is very unusual.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about. Where's his other web? Oh, he's about to have a second web, okay. So he's going to put the second one in lane. And there we go, Bounty Rune's picked up that. I mean, I guess it's like a quick escape should he need it if they're trying to dive him near the tower, but there's... I mean, that's really like... I'm stretching things here, Winter, to try and figure out what he's trying to do with this web.
I'm not sure as well. Maybe he just felt a bit threatened there. I don't know. But overall, I think if you look at both teams' lineups, like for Mineski, if they can actually get to the late game, their heroes are extremely powerful in late game. They are really, really good heroes at dealing with. Like Gyro can't stand and fight against those heroes. He's just gonna die. So for CDEC, they need to make sure that they win their lanes, they snowball, they make their quick rotations, their classic signature rotations, Gyrocopter with ultimate running around so they give space for the Visage to get level 6. They need to hit all these timings, and SB are obviously helping the Brood as well. So or the mid lane to get kills. Those are the critical things that CDEC needs to make happen for them to actually win and take control of the mid game, so they can actually get Roshan as well.
Well, for now, Garda just going to be chilling around the top lane, possibly seeing if Slada's going to get a bit too aggressive in lane and create any kill opportunities. For the mid lane, it will be Mineski with the +1 in the form of the Winter Wyvern, stacking the jungle for the SF, as well as offering some harass onto Shiki's Lina, who will be faring out an early salve here, definitely in need with the harass coming out from that Arctic burn. And Brood, kind of as you mentioned, should be able to do just fine in lane, at least as far as getting experience against the Bristleback and the Venge.
Wow, dude, he has 6 CS so far. Oh,
Wow.
that's actually pretty good.
They didn't have any sentry in lane. They picked up a dust later on, but yeah, Mineski went no sentries, just...
Did they devoid it or something? I thought they had sentries. Wyvern had one. So
Brood must have been out of decent. Brood had a sentry in lane as well, so I imagine the Brood must have tangoed it before they could do anything about it.
Actually, one more sentry is top. So
okay, there was no sentry bottom, it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as Brood reaches that level, that mark where I was talking about, level 3, level 4 to level 5, those are the timings that the SB can just come into the lane to help get kills.
Yep. Well, he's rotating around. He's got a double damage rune near the mid lane here.
Yeah. A lot of
the
the early game is going to sit on Garda, how he actually makes rotations and how successful he is.
Okay. We're possibly about to find out. Bimbo pushes forward a bit. Here comes the charge. Lina to back it up, and there will be an Arctic burn here. But Bimbo in trouble. He gets stunned up, and first blood picked up.
Oh my god, that stun was so good on 2 heroes, and he's gonna get another. Oh my god, Shiki, well played there with his light strike array. Got 2 heroes. He was gonna get the cold embrace onto SF, but SF would probably still die. But at least the Wyvern wouldn't go down there. That stun was so good.
Well, that's you talked about the Spirit Breaker early rotations, and he comes up big early on.
They were even anticipating that because they had a ward. They saw the SB running away from the lane, so they knew SB was up to something. But
what they didn't know was the double
Wyvern
damage.
Was ready.
The double damage also made the difference there.
True, but they still were ready for that gank, so kind of didn't expect it to go so badly for them. But yet again, it's SF Radiant side, so easy catch up. Even if he falls behind, it's not like a really big problem for him.
Nope. An offlane Brood already farmed up a Soul Ring though, so this is 10 CS on an offlane Brood against what is a dual lane.
Yeah.
Bristleback.
And let's see.
Okay, has
let's see
now.
Whether they come and help him, because the Spider has a lot of Brood has a lot of spiderings ready for a gank to happen. So SB can potentially help the Brute get a kill here.
SB has boots and Orb of Venom,
Wow,
and a
he's
fast
rich.
level 3. Yeah, he's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, this Spirit Breaker with the farm he's got and the level 3 can cause a lot of problems anywhere on the map.
He
Get the
doesn't
Shadow
need to
Fiend
go
or the
back
off
top
lane.
anymore. He just needs to focus on shutting down the mid lane and the off lane. I mean, their safe lane, Mineski's safe lane right now. So we'll see where he actually makes his next move. It's always going to be falling on his hands, deciding how the tempo of the game will go as the SB this game.
Yeah. He's going to do some stacking himself, although he misses that one. But making sure that Shiki has some additional farm as well to himself.
So the lane is really going so well for the Brute. He's getting so much from the lane, even a lot of CS, not only experience. I was thinking that maybe okay, he's gonna get experience, but not that much of creeps, but he's getting so much, and the charge is coming in with a huge stack of spiders, but it's a Bristol, though. It's not an easy kill.
Yeah, it's level 5 here as well, so it could just look to turn his back and spam those quills.
Oh,
Has
he doesn't
bottle
have
charges
mana.
as well. This could backfire. They've got to be a bit careful here. Another quill spray is going to clip the Spiderling's Cuckoo. Not bottling just yet, wanting to make sure it doesn't get cancelled.
That was not good. They gave him a lot of experience because he killed a bunch of spiders.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's level 6 now.
This is going okay for the Bristleback. Same time, Brood getting a lot more of this lane than you'd normally expect. Here comes a smoke towards top. Mineski rotating both supports in what's a pretty unexpected fashion. I'd say aggressive is still just level 5. Yep, it's pre-level 6 as well. There's no cooldown to worry about. Really nice gank from Mineski.
Wow, this is a really good rotation because before the gyro reaches 6, this is how CDEC wants to play their game, and
Yeah.
they make a gank to kill and slow down that tempo.
This is like some old school like way of playing, like with dual hero support rotations, like very kind of SEA style, where you just two-man smoke your 2 supports and just roam around the map. Something you don't see very much anymore.
Because it's very risky because you pay a huge price if you don't get the gank because you waste.
Speaking
time
of
of
ganks,
Cuckoo.
bottom lane, Gyro's TP'd in, and Cuckoo could be in some trouble here. He's turned his back with the Rocket Rush. Can do a lot of damage. He's looking to bring down XE with him, but will not do so. Very close to getting the Brood. One more quill was all that he needed. Aggressive, comes in with the phase boots and helps clean up Bristle.
Yeah, that was also a rotation that you don't really expect from a gyro this early on because he doesn't have cooldown yet, and that was a very key kill because it's gonna allow Brood to farm
Top
a lot
lane,
more.
Q in some trouble. He's got a lot of minus armor here. And as a result, Q, I think he was going to go down here. 1 or 2 more right clicks, they'll get the kill. Both teams rotating a lot
You see
early
how
on.
both teams making very similar movements to their offlane. They are trying to help their offlane and pressure the opponent's safe lane.
Oh, mid lane though. Talk about the off lanes. Let's take a look at the mid lane. Jay getting ganked up here. LSA call down. There's going to be a lot of damage onto him. Laguna even going to get used, and Jules shows up and feeds away his life as well. 2 quick kills go CDC's way.
Yeah, they managed to place a ward down and get a kill on SF, so that was all they needed and all they wanted to do with that movement.
The Spirit Breaker
that was
leader
really
just
good
puts
play.
so much pressure onto the SF because you can't even rely on the Cold Embrace is useless because you just set up the Lina spells, and this is a level 8 Lina already, so SF just needs all the HP he can get to survive these ganks coming his way.
Oh, XZ bottom lane. Oh my god, he's dead.
What? Solo killed by the Bristle. That was
He
unexpected.
walked out of his web and he just got chased down and he didn't have webs on ready.
Okay.
So that was a big misplay there. I think he was using a courier or something. He was buying stuff, I'm not sure. But he wasn't paying attention to his hero
Dire
there.
structures are fortified.
It's going to be a smoke coming out from Mineski. They're making a move towards mid, and talked about the Slider and how you don't have to get that blink anymore. It's just a level 5 Slider, but he'll have the sprint. It is a phase boost Lina though. This is a little bit of extra boost into movement speed that could save Shiki's life potentially. I believe the ward did also scout out at least the Wyvern here before the Wyvern backed off for the smoke, so...
Maybe they try to steal the stack with the SF now. I think that's the next best thing they can get from this. If
It
they
is
don't
a
get
triple
kill.
stack. Yeah, they're bringing in Jay, and with 4 heroes here, probably something they can do unless Gyrocopter rocks up and ruins the fun for them. But Gyrocopter headed towards bottom, not willing to risk going for the stacks here. They're going to grab the double damage rune first. Cuckoo gets the bottom rune. And both teams going for these aggressive smokes into the enemy jungle as Mineski.
Oh, they're gonna
playing
get the Bristol
Ancients.
back.
Oh, not the Ancients, the neutrals. Yeah,
Bristol
Bristle.
back is in trouble.
He's still a little bit healthy here. Nope. Okay, there we go. Enough nukes come in. Even Lina rotating.
Way too many heroes there.
Yeah. And they steal the stack on the side of Mineski. So Bristleback going down for a second time in a row, though. Not exactly the ideal result for them there.
You just look at how this... Oh my god, top lane.
Yep, and there's a follow-up stun from Jesse Bash. Q cannot TP out. Got some good levels up there, and pretty much takes a gate that otherwise would be headed towards someone like Lina. So you'd much rather your Visage going down than Shiki in the mid.
But this is looking still really good for Mineski. They are not losing the early game too badly. And their lineup is much more stronger in the mid to late game because they have so much minus armor. There's no way Gyro can actually fight into this sort of lineup. And they don't have defensive supports. Their supports are all very independent at doing their own damage. They're not heroes that can actually keep the Gyro safe in team fights.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And get up to level 6 now on Slider, so amp damage comes into play. Bristleback definitely needs some farm and catch up himself. Has a couple of ancient stacks here to work with, so that's some good news for the Bristle. Despite the deaths he's been receiving in the bottom lane, he will be able to accelerate and catch up to some of the heroes like the Lina.
But this is what you need to do. Like when I see some teams when they play Brood, they don't make this sort of movements. If you notice when I'm talking to you at the house, like I always mention how important it is to make moves like this to help the Brood when she's on the off lane. And see that so far I made 2 moves to actually help the Brood. And as a result, she's going to be able to control the jungle here, has a Midas because she didn't really have a good start, so she needs Midas to catch up and think about what items you want to go for. I think this game is definitely a game where you don't really go okay, you want to go for stats like armor and be able to fight.
A great Vlad's game, I'm sure, when you're against all this minus armor.
Yeah.
Like SMY, Vlad's,
AC.
BKB. Well, not even BKB this game, but more like the SMY
AC,
Vlad's. Yeah. I can definitely see building away from the Orchid this game for sure. Not 9 that's going to help against the 3 cores that Mineski have on their side.
Man, their cores are so scary if they go into the mid to... Like, they can win a team fight when they are like maybe 7k to 10k levels behind because of how easy they output damage with their heroes.
Well, and they're going to be pretty tanky too. I mean, Slider fairly naturally tanky. Bristleback beefs up a lot, and SF going for the mech and stats build, so... If SF can get a decent time on mech and then his BKB or SMY, whatever item he wants to go for, fall down at mid. Ooh, Jules gets clipped by it. They may just lose the Wyvern here, but no, he flies back to safety. Brood was trying to rotate into this one as well. They're really committing a lot. The Wyvern gets very low, but Brood's scurried back into the jungle. Could have maybe cleaned up the Wyvern, but...
You can see how you know how desperate they are to try and get more of the early game because with their lineup they need to be more ahead. Like right now they are ahead by 3k, but that's not enough for their lineup because their lineup is built to be even more ahead during the early game.
Now they lost a tower, so that's going to even things up a bit. Cuckoo seeing the Spirit Breaker top, knowing he was safe, and Spirit Breaker taking some time off ganking and pressuring the lanes to try and get a level 6 here, so gave Mineski some breathing room, and this is suddenly going to be SF with a mech soon. Bristleback, it looks like he's going to go for a Vanguard, and he's actually diving in bottom, has a haste rune. He may just be able to solo kill the Visage here. There's nothing Q can do if Cuckoo decides to chase him down, but I think he decides it's probably not for the best. Now the charge, and this is not good for Bristle. He's getting far enough away. Can Shiki hit the stun off of this? Garda has a Nether Strike, so should be able to get the chain stun off. Is the LSA going to land? The haste still there? He gets away just barely. That was so close.
That haste ended, so he got really lucky with the timing there. He just ended after the charge complete and the Nether Strike.
Bottom rune. Jay, call down Rocket Barrage, gets an illusion rune. Of all the runes to get, could tank a Rocket Barrage. Nope, he's going to go down. Charge was empty. Shiki, yep, in trouble. Has a Laguna, but won't even get a chance to use it. Now the familiars need to be a little bit careful with those. Mineski rotating in. They know there's no cooldown, and it looks like they want to fight. Cuckoo on the front lines here, fairly tanky. Winter's Curse is there. Q gets low. Cuckoo gets the cleanup kill.
Oh, I see. He's amped up. They see him. He's there.
Oh dear, that's a problem. And there's a blink on Slider. Do they know Garda's up here? It doesn't look like it. Ryu with the blink dagger. Able to cause some problems.
Oh my god, this is so good for them.
They've got so much minus armor here. This is such an easy roast for them. Bristleback's just going to tear this apart. Vanguard up on Bristle. This is such a great early pickup for him. Just helping him tank up and able to fight into heroes like the Gyrocopter. Speaking of Gyro, where is he? Needs to come in fast with a cooldown. Roach is dropping slowly, quickly. Familiars are there. 1 stun, 2 stun, cooldown there as well. They're charging on in. That's the cooldown onto everyone. Mineski getting low, but they've got the mech. They're going to heal back up, and it's aggressive, actually going down. Mineski just surviving through all the damage. Shiki gets the kill in the cold embrace with the LSA. Meanwhile, Garda, he's gone in, trying to fight the Bristle of Cuckoo. That ain't gonna work. Bristle just charging forward. He's not done. Cuckoo is just tearing apart CDEC. Gets himself a double kill, but it's Lina on the back lines winning CDEC this fight and trying to finish and bring down Roche. Brood rocks up, and I think
Cuckoo's gonna run in.
Can he get this one? Familiars need to stun him up here. They're gonna do so. Cuckoo gets low. The Brood gonna pop the ultimate. Can Cuckoo get Roche? He's gonna die to Roche, and he just picked up by the Brood. It's a team wipe as Roche secures the last kill, and Mineski just grouped up a bit too much, I guess, and just couldn't quite bring down Roche fast enough. It looked like a safe play, but definitely in hindsight, just was not something they were ready to do.
Dude, they took a 5-man call on, and they still, I sort of feel they almost won the fight.
Almost won the fight. It looked like they were going to win it with the Bristle, but
because of the mech, they have the mech advantage, and CDEC lineup, they didn't have a bigger. They needed a bigger lead from the laning phase to be able to actually take fights like that. Because right now, even though they got the Roshan, Mineski still fine with this. They are looking really strong going into the mid game. Even the Crimson Guard coming up from the Bristle, which very good versus the Flat Cannon and very good versus the Brood as well.
And even stuff like Familiars too. So.
Yeah, how are they gonna kill heroes when they get one or maybe one more item on the SF like PKB? It's gonna be tough for CDEC to actually focus on heroes.
They can still kill heroes with the burst damage from Lina and Gyrocopter. And even Soul Assumption. It's not all right-click physical damage.
That's why BKB would be a really big timing for the SF this game, because all the damage right now from CDEC is just mostly spell damage.
And CDC really feeling the pressure here. They're going to swing towards mid very aggressively.
I mean, they understand the situation. It's really dire for them right now. If they don't get any sort of advantage in the next few minutes, they lose the Aegis. They're going to have a very hard time in the mid game. There's no way they can let this game
and
go
Brood's
too
got
late.
the Aegis. That's not really the ideal hero for them to have the Aegis on.
Oh
at this stage of the
true.
game. So
Really
even though they got the
that.
Aegis and Roche, it's not really an advantage for them. They'd much rather have it on Gyrocopter or Lina.
Yep. Gyro and Lina would be there because it was like Cuckoo running in the pit, so they were like scrambling. They don't really care about who gets the Aegis. They just wanted to make sure that the Bristle doesn't get the Aegis. That's all they cared about at that point in the game.
Cheeky.
So right now, even Mineski down in Aegis, they're still looking to be aggressive on the map.
Here comes the Blink Crush. He misses it though. Shiki gets off the Yules. He's going to turn for the stun. He's going to hit 2 with it. Winter's Curse available. Laguna is there with the cooldown. Rage Mate gets put in a cold embrace, but that means he's got no damage output. They're going to get the kill on Shiki though regardless. Crimson Guard doing what it can to help protect Mineski. Is there. Bimbo winds up. He gets off just the dying Requiem. Does not get the initial one off. He just barely got it off. Got off the double Requiem, but still the damage not quite enough. Jesse Vash on the side will go down to the Brood here, and Cuckoo, he's low, being healed up by a cold embrace. The Bristleback still tanky, but there's going to be another Yules to control him. LSA to follow. Dragon Slave is there, and Mineski going to get team wiped once more. Slada's missed stun, just buying CDC the time they needed to rotate and punish Mineski's aggression.
That was the right play. That should be an easy kill on the Lina, but just slightly misjudged. Maybe he felt like the Lina would be faster with the Fiery Souls, so he actually blinked a bit further up front. But that was really costly for them. That was so costly. It was supposed to be just one free pick-off and back.
And CDC wouldn't have even tried to make a counterplay if they lost the Lina right away. Well, speaking of losing the Lina, Shiki and Top goes aggressive with the Yules, but Slada was there ready to kind of try and counterplay it, but no follow-up damage. Meanwhile, the Wyvern off to the side in no man's land will go down as well. Mineski just throwing lives away at this stage. SF is back with a Santir XC amped up. We'll go down to a couple raises with the amp damage. Ryu as well as Bimbo getting now chain stunned by the Familiars. They're in some trouble. Bimbo getting charged up as well. He's got the damage. The Soul Assumption cleans up the SF. Ryu still nearby, trying to fight this one with Cuckoo. 2v5. That's a big crush from Ryu. Cuckoo going in with the Crimson Guard. He really wants this one. I don't think he's got the damage though. He's getting low and he's got to try and fight his way through this one. He wants Shiki. He won't get him. Oh my god, this Bristle. Mineski, what are you doing? You can't fight 2v5. That's not how you play Dota 2. And unfortunately, CDEC will punish them for it. Again and again and again, Winter.
By the way, I can hear Roland.
You know, he's getting into it.
Under attack.
Roland, shut
up. This is the reason why when I always talk about Mineski, I always say that they have very good strategies, but they are not so good in terms of decision making. Sometimes they make mistakes, but it's not like they are using bad strategies or whatnot, but they're just making like plays that they shouldn't be making. They just need to chill. What they need to do is like chill and let their lineup just develop itself. Like you just keep farming, and when you go into a late game, you're gonna win the game. That's all they need to do. They don't really need to, like the last play on the Lina was understandable, it was a free pickup and they placed wards with the smoke, so it was a very good move. But they made a mistake, so okay, whatever. Then they make this mistake again, they try to defend, where they weren't really ready as 5 heroes, right? They TP'd 1 hero at a time and some heroes were still respawning. They do not have to take that fight, they could have just gave up the tower and just keep farming. That's all they need to do, and just make sure that the game drags on.
Well, now they've got a big problem because I don't feel like just dragging the game is going to be enough now that they're behind. They're behind by a pretty big gold margin, 8,000 gold.
It's still okay for them with their
It's
lineup.
okay. The Gyro's got ancient stacks. There's going to be a Silver Edge pickup for the Spirit Breaker to deal with the Bristleback as well. So I feel like CDEC are itemizing and playing for the late game here.
So this is actually what CDEC needs going after the early game. So Mineski just gave it to them.
Yeah,
They needed to come ahead with this sort of lead from the early game laning phase. But right now, even though Mineski is behind, they can still. I mentioned right, they can win a game even if they are 7,500 or 10k behind the lineup.
They need the BKBs is kind of what you mentioned here. Cuckoo as well as Jay. He will go for an SMY first, which I think is okay. It's still fine, but the BKB timing is when Mineski are going to be at their next strongest peak.
Yeah. I'm surprised even the Sala is not going for a BKB right away. He's building into a 4-star. I'm not sure if he's going to change his mind, but I definitely think that some games on offlane Sala, you want to have a BKB right after your blink. Like this is a very good example of a game where BKB is very, very good. Because you might actually get used by the Lina or get stunned by SB. Like there's a lot of things that can still hit and control you. So BKB is very, very important for the Sala team.
Yeah. Mineski, they very much just need to calm down. I mean, looking at the net worth right now, the two carries on both teams are fairly similar. It's just the offlane Slider who's really kind of the one who's not really keeping up. Oh, charge coming in with his curses there. Gotta get scouted and it's gonna go down.
There.
They were ready for it. Yep, as you mentioned, Sentry Ward in position to scout that one out, and Shadowblade not going to help him. Aggressive, by the way, going for a Manta pickup. Helping against the amp damage of the Slider.
This is a very common reaction towards the Slider. Huh? It's not the most ideal for Gyro since you don't really bet, like your illusion sucks on Gyrocopter.
Yep, true.
But that's what you do against Slider. You have to build all these items to deal with the amp.
Well, we talked about the Brew with the Vlad's pickup. What we didn't talk about was a Solar Crest, which is actually a great item as well to have this game. Really nice armor. And
it's good with the Bristol as well. Like all this game is all like items that give him stats, armor, whatnot. So it's still the right direction that he's building a build into this game.
You can see how strong Mineski are. I mean, they find one pickup and they just go straight down mid as a team and take a tier 2 tower uncontested. So very much in line up there. Here we go, they're going to charge in with the Shadowblade onto Ryu. The stun not there in time to cancel initially the charge. Now the Nether Strike to pull the Slider back in. There's a Laguna to take him out. No more stuns for Mineski, and Cuckoo surrounded, stunned up multiple times. The homing missile even coming into play. The Rocket Barrage not getting the bristle back onto that one. And the mech from SF not there in time. He's got no BKB, going to get stunned up out of the Yules. The Rocket Barrage as well. Cold Embrace here, got the magic damage. They're going to blow him up in the Cold Embrace almost, as he does get brought down. Dying Requiem just tickles CDEC and just hung around a little bit too long perhaps.
Yeah, like they needed to like probably sack the heroes. They tried to save the Bristol as well. They needed to sack him so to minimize casualties. This is like again a similar mistake, like lacking in experience. They needed to get out because there was no way they were fighting that. Still like recognizing that you don't have curse, you can't really take that fight. That is like one of your biggest arsenal in a team fight composition. So after Garda responds and they just ran in.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Well, Well, for that, CDEC will take a tier 2 tower of their own. They're going to back off and possibly posture for Roshan,
And
get up some wards.
this is very worrisome. They just need to chill. Like honestly, I just feel like they need to chill, and they just need to keep farming, make sure they get items, and they're gonna win the game. That's how their lineup works now.
They're playing at the
against what
Frankfurt
CDEC.
Majors Winter, competing for $3 million. You can't just chill. It's easier said than done.
Yeah, but if you're not chilling against CDEC,
Yeah.
CDEC wants to keep fighting with the lineup because they know that their heroes don't really scale so well into the late game. They have Brood Mother, which doesn't do anything against their lineup, and Gyro is very weak versus Slala, etc. All these minus armor.
Nope. And that's something Mineski kind of have to just recognize.
Yeah,
I'm sure they do,
that's
is
why
that
you
their
see
draft
the
is going to
last-
be stronger.
That's why you see the last 10 minutes to 15
Oh,
minutes.
they
CDEC
see
have
Gada.
been really, they've been really
Possible.
trying to force.
Swap, Crush, second stun as well. They're going to bring down Spirit Breaker. Do they go in for more? They've still got the Winter's Curse here. Q nearby, the ward going to spot Mineski, who are on the chase with a sprint ready. Blink Crush could come out onto Shiki. He's going to phase, he's got an Invis Rune as well. He doesn't pop it in time, he gets amped up. They see him now. Going to turn, look for the LSA, doesn't get it off, and Shiki could be a big pickup for Mineski. That's Alina who just picked up an Ag Scepter. Well, hasn't actually got it on herself, but did pick up the components back at base.
Dude,
Mineski, unfortunately,
Roche-
do not have Roche. Oh, that's a bit of bad luck for Mineski.
It would
They've
have
got to
been
know it
perfect
soon. The
if
max
Roche-
timer is almost there. Yeah, Jesse Vash is going to possibly just camp in the pit. You should wait this one, Lena. 40 seconds. Oh, no,
dear.
they're going to TP back in the pen bottom. So no Roche for Mineski.
So BKB is up on the Bristol, but they need the more important one is obviously on the SF. I think SF needs it more desperately than the Bristol because Bristol is still very tanky in fights, and SF can't really dish out damage if he's not immune to spells and all these disables. So CDEC needs to secure this Roshan.
Oh, yeah, they do. But with this gem, they sure as hell can try and secure the area around it. Mineski will definitely be well aware. They've used a lot of smokes recently. I don't believe they've got any left at their disposal. Nope, none in sight. I said there's one
Look
on
at the
courier.
Brutes items as well.
Sorry, who's that?
That AC
Oh,
Brute
yeah.
is just the armor buffer against the Slaughter.
Absolutely. Well, they know it's all physical damage that's going to be coming out. The only nuke damage is really from the SF Requiem and the
Yeah.
Razors.
Just look at the net worth graph right now. Mineski is like 8k behind, but they can easily win a fight with their land.
Well, that's about to be tested here. Both teams posturing around Roche. CDC smoked up coming from the side here.
Oh, the ward!
Yep, it spots
The
out
sentry.
everything.
The
Two
sentry is
sentries
out.
missing
Oh my
it.
god, this charge. This
Here
charge.
comes CDC, charge onto Ryu. The sentry will scout it out. Will they get the crush off? Ryu a bit too late on it. Sentry comes now, the call down there, not going to hit all too much. Kukuga Ryu, the Winter's Curse is good! On too aggressive, the blink is there from Ryu, needs a crush, doesn't get it! He gets chain stunned without getting a crush off! Oh no, Raging Potato does not have a BKB. Crimson Guard or not, you're still going down, and
Oh my
Kuku on the
god.
backline's getting stunned up by some familiars. Great, impressive micro coming out from Q and Kuku. He's got 4 heroes to deal with now. He's in trouble. One more Soul Assumption comes out.
Man,
he goes down
I
to 4
think
for 1
he's
trade.
definitely regretting like the SMY pickup. He needs the BKB so badly. I think
Yep.
from his position, because he was having after the disastrous early game and mid game he was catching up a bit. He felt like he would have been able to farm an SMY and BKB for a very crucial fight, but that was not the case for them this game. So CDEC is right now taking full control of the game.
That ward though.
They saw the SV charging in, but no one actually stunned the SV. There was a sentry there.
Yeah. Well, even Slider can just do it himself. He was just like a half second too late on it. He was
just
mid-animation
charged
when he
in,
got
there
hit.
was a sentry and he got 2 heroes, he stunned 2 heroes, and
Yep.
they just jumped into the engage after that.
Well,
That
it's
was a
funny,
very-
the Spirit Breaker didn't even fully commit to it. He just threw the charge and then he backed off a little bit, but it was all that CDC needed to start the fight off. And then Rio unfortunately
dear.
missed his next Blink Crush. Well, he blinked into like 3 heroes, but got instantly stunned. I think a familiar stun or something caught him.
Yeah, they are very they're very nervous. You can tell. They just need to chill and they're gonna win this game. But unfortunately, right now, their fate is no longer in their hands because CDEC is taking a gigantic control. I mentioned 10k gold, but now it's going beyond 10k gold. It's definitely still possible for Mineski, but right now the odds are very difficult. Like during the point where they were 7k to 10k gold behind, I would say they have a 50-50 shot. Right now it's less than 50. Like maybe the odds is 3 to 7 or 2 to 8.
Okay.
CDEC is in very good control of the game right now.
Yeah, and Gyro's farming well and has been stacking Ancients continuously. This is
Yeah.
actually a Guardian Greaves. I mean, we talk about the armor game. Greaves is actually pretty nice. You get low HP in that the
You
bonus
remove
armor
the amp
kicks in.
as well.
So
You remove the amp
Yep.
if he has it on you, so it's a very, very, very good item in this situation. Right now, the minus armor
That's-
is actually dwindling because they have all these armor items on their team.
well, I mean, Visage is a very underrated aspect of the Guardian Greaves, and typically it's not saying that's huge, but you get 15 armor when you're below 20% HP. That's something which can always come into play as well for the side of CDEC.
Yeah.
Radiant's
Right now,
top
Mineski
tower
needs
is under
to
attack.
Uh-oh.
finish their BKB before the next fight. They have
Yeah.
to get this BKB before the fight comes. This is so
Wow.
important for them.
Has he got it? Yeah, he's got it now.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Has the souls as well, so they are ready to go. Aegis on Gyro. CDC, not really the best lineup for pushing
Wow,
straight up
Garda's
pushing
running
high
in?
ground.
Whoa, okay.
It feels like
Yeah,
CDC
the-
can't just 5-man push high ground though. They need to find a pick-off.
They can control the map right now. They
Yes.
have the
gonna
Familiars
have-
and the Gem, so they're gonna slowly suffocate Mineski and contain Mineski in their base because they still need to take it very, very cautiously. At this stage,
Yeah.
if they lose one fight, they're gonna give Mineski everything back.
Well, and CDC, while as much as like they maybe have a slightly weaker late game, if they play the starvation like Dota where they don't end the game now, like maybe this game goes another 20 minutes, but if they keep Mineski in their base, it's still CDEC favored quite
Yeah,
heavily just because they're going to
because-
be, instead of being 15k gold ahead, they'll be 25k gold ahead. So Mineski's deficit's just going to keep getting worse and worse, and at some point Mineski's going to be like, guys, we got to go out and take a fight just because we're getting no farm.
Yeah, the bigger the lead gets, it means that Mineski has to execute their team fight very, very well to win. Before, maybe I would say that, oh, they get a crush on one or two heroes, they're still gonna win a fight. Winter's Curse or maybe the Gyro, and they're gonna be able to win the fight easily. But right now, they probably need more than that. They need to crush 3 heroes, get a key curse on multiple heroes as well, and allow SF to actually dish out damage in the team
Yep.
fight.
Well, speaking of the armor game, Winter, there's an ice armor even from the Gyrocopter. He's got a Ogre Frost Mage coming around with
Wow,
him, so...
that's like, it feels like a Doom Devourer right now.
Yeah.
You go for
They've
the
got-
ice armor.
AC Vlad, Solar Crest, Ice Armor. I mean, Gyro's
And
sitting
this
on
is
30
perfect.
plus armor.
This is perfect for them. They are going to be able to siege the high ground with this.
Yep. And this is just where Bristle just isn't quite as scary or beastly because so much of his damage is kind of the... Like, with the itemization towards the Crimson Guard, he's not as much of a right-click carry. He's more relying on the quills.
But the thing is, he's also behind right now, so it's really
Yes.
not fair to say if he's, let's say on even, don't even talk about being ahead of the Gyro. If he's on even terms, he has another 4k network. He has one more item, then he can actually still output a lot of damage, or even be much more tanky. Like have a, for example, a Heaven's Cover would be really good in this game.
CDC, they're looking for that key pick-off that could lead into a high ground siege. Smoked up right outside the Mineski base. Ryu gonna go out and guard is there to scout him. The Nether Strike gonna come in and Ryu gets pushed back. Doesn't get a chance to force or blink. No follow-up pick-off. If there was a secondary kill, that could have just been it for Mineski. Bimbo without buyback on his
They
set,
can't,
so he
they
needs to
can't
be very
defend as
careful.
well right now with the Sparada. Sparada is their primary initiator.
Yeah. All they've got is a Winter's Curse, but initiating with that is not gonna be easy.
No, Cuckoo.
Cuckoo, gotta be careful, gets down very low to start things off. The Manta out of the amp damage means that Aggressive is pushing pretty damn fast here. The Familiar stun up Cuckoo, he's got the Crimson Guard, that's about to wear off though, and Aggressive on the front line, just happy to throw away an Aegis if they can get a rack out of this one. And I believe that may just be the case. Here comes the call out guard against the charge on the back line. The Soldier comes on the Jules, gets him low. Where's the Winter's Curse? Needs to be good. It's on the XZ. Doesn't catch out any other heroes though. Aggressive 3 spawned and
Oh my
Mineski
God.
pushed
That was
back
not
to their
good
fountain.
enough.
As a result, it looks like they'll lose their bottom melee rack. Slider about to TP. Nope, they're going to look to TP back and try and take this fight. Cuckoo in the charge. Doesn't get hit by the LSA. Can Mineski get any kills out of this one? They've held their racks for now, and they're not done. The Blink Crash will barely clip Aggressive. He's still got a BKB and the Manta style, though. Can Manta out of this if he needs to? Swap back. They can. Cheeky amp damage is there. Laguna doesn't do quite enough to really damage Mineski here. They've still got their cores up and fighting, but not for long. Not if SF can't get away from the Gyrocopter. Aggressive trying to chase him down, won't succeed in doing so. Meanwhile, the amp damage onto XZ does mean they can look to chase him down, but Mineski are just too low in HP here. They're all so low and just unable to fight. They've just brought down the Lina, and it doesn't really feel like that's enough really to consider that a good trade for Mineski.
That was a very, very expensive defense. They had to use a buyback, they used their BKB charges, and they still lost the tier 3. So this is still really ideal for CDEC. they didn't lose the gyro. Gyro still gets items. They just need to right now get more items from gyro. Wait for the next Aegis to be really safe and go again. Because they did a significant amount of damage already with that push.
Yeah, and even without claiming a melee Rax, and this melee Rax will heal back up, but CDC can just buy themselves some time, pick up the next couple of items. Butterfly now complete for gyro.
Yeah.
Wait on Aegis if they really want.
Goddess is gonna have his BKB. I thought he would have actually wanted.
Oh, okay.
I thought he actually wanted to go for maybe a Lotus Obvious thing, which is really, really good.
Well, the other item was the Silver Edge we mentioned as well, which could be a good answer to the Bristleback. But Bristleback right now just isn't a problem as much.
It's not a problem, you know, now. Right now, the main thing is like the amp damage and being able to actually probably reflect a Winter's Curse that could have been really big for them. Do you know how it works with the bench swap? If you actually Lotus up, that'd be funny, right?
I think you just don't move, I guess. Yeah, both heroes would just stand still.
Yeah, I think Lotus Up would have been a really, really good pickup this game. Like BKB, I'm not so sure how much it would actually provide for you.
And you can always, like you say, you can get rid of the amp damage much easier.
Yeah,
with
I guess
with
the BKB you can actually just run in and not worry about. But you might still get swap or curse your initiation. So I'm not sure. I felt like Lotus Up would have been a pickup that gives him much more opportunities to make a really, really big play and much more useful than a BKB.
Well, CDC still getting aggressive towards this bottom lane.
Well, he just finished his butterfly, so they want to use this butterfly timing to actually siege.
Well, without an Aegis, this is quite a little bit risky.
Yeah, it is.
Considering there's no buyback.
Who has buyback? Anyone has buyback on Mineski?
No gyro. Lena does with all the money she's got, but I mean at this stage they're much more. Roche is coming up soon, so if they lose a fight now near the Mineski base and suddenly there's a fast Roche respawn,
there's no need to risk anything. They just need to wait for the Roshan and maybe complete one more item on the Visage. Or does he have another item? Yeah, he has a 4-star. So they have. They don't really need to rush anything, and maybe even Brood can finish one more item. It'll be funny to see a Brood with Shiva's guard.
Well, that's some serious sound. And maybe I'd even prefer seeing something like a Butterfly as well on Brood, because no one's buying MKB anytime soon.
But Butterfly would be good.
Because that's also a lot of armor.
Even a Skadi on Brood would be nice this game.
We'll see what the plan of action is going to be. Right now, Mineski very much running out of options. They've got a smoke here, but they don't really. They're going to have to be kind of gambling as to when Roche is going to be respawning.
Yeah, but the problem is Roche. They don't have map control and the lanes are always pushing. With they can just easily use the familiars to push the lanes, so it's difficult for Mineski to move out the base unnoticed by CDEC. Because it'll be really obvious when no one is actually defending the lanes.
CDEC, are they going to go for a jump? Garda goes in. No Shadow Blade available, goes to the BKB instead. Raging Potato gets swapped out back to safety. Jesse Bash can be the sacrificial lamb for now. BKB forward, aggressive once in. It's going to see a Manta style dodges a Winter's Curse, I believe, because of that. That's a nice little play from aggressive. And they're on the Mineski high ground, charging forward once again. Garda will force out the BKB. May take this with his life. He's gone in deep. The crush going to be off the mark here. Laguna Blade kills Slaughter in the fountain. Mineski getting hurdled back and, well, that's going to open up this top lane for the taking. All three heroes dead without buyback. AC Vlad's going to amplify the push, and CDEC going to get at least one lane of rack, possibly multiple, possibly even force out the GG. It looks like Mineski is done for in game number 1.
Man, they showed a lot of potential, honestly. Like, I think they had a really good strategy, a very good start to the game as well. It's just that they made too many mistakes. It's just something I always say about Mineski.
Well, there was like 3 team wipes in a row when the game was.
The issue is like they didn't even have to be aggressive at that stage. They just need to chill, and they're gonna win the game.
Well, game 1 goes the way of CDEC. And you can see on the graph, like 15 minutes in, it was Mineski dead even, and with a draft that looked like it was going to scale a lot better.
They are going to crush in the
apart.
late game if it's even or like not too big of a lead for CDEC. I think Mineski showed a lot of promise in this game. It's just that their decision making and probably even Real messed up a key initiation at the top for the Lina cost them a lot. So overall, I think